Welcome on in, Aquarius. We are going to do your Financial Fridays reading to maybe get some insight and direction on what for many of you is payday, right? And as I've shared with you before, this is kind of an adaptation of something I personally incorporated into my own life, where I, as a matter of trying to strengthen myself consistently over time, my weakness with finances and money, because I'm not really a material person, right? I'm very Aquarius and Pisces and, not about this 3D stuff, right? But the 3D stuff is about me and it. So in order to kind of rein that in a little bit more and work on that, strengthening that weakness within myself, I began doing a Financial Fridays practice in my own life, where that's a day for me where I sit down and I pay bills. And I spend at least an hour, maybe two, sometimes more, depending on what's going on. But at least an hour where I'm paying my bills and I'm looking what's coming up ahead with my, finances and my goals, setting goals, and maybe even doing some financial education from some financial literacy so that I become more financially fit in weathering the storms that come my way. So yeah, I could be working on, business leadership stuff or refining some highly marketable skills so I can increase my income. It could be, financial strategies on investing so that I grow my money faster than, say, just a typical bank account, which is very old school thinking, right? People are actually losing money in bank accounts, savings accounts, right? So coming up with more effective business strategies by improving your financial literacy. So we'll get some advice on, anything that maybe you should be looking at over the next week in terms of, improving your income, improving your strategy, and weathering the financial storms that are headed your way because, Lord knows we got plenty of those, right, with the inflation. So let's look at your current financial situation, and we've already got that. So yes, some of you dealing with a lot of pushback and adversity, and it's affecting your career for some of you, okay? Others of you, this is like generational wealth, your legacy. But I do see some new creative beginnings, and that's super positive. Showing, and I've been seeing that recently for us, that this could be a time when you're getting a lot of divine downloads. I'm getting that, not only that, creative ideas being downloaded to you in terms of ideas that could generate more stability, right? Like if you're a business owner, putting new products and services out there that actually help you to build an empire, okay? Or something like, say, for example, creating intellectual property with royalties that pay out long after you're gone from this world, right? Things like that. Or if you're a worker, an employee, you getting creative ideas on how you can add to your gifts, skills, talents, so that you can better market yourself and get more of a payoff that not only benefits you, but your family and again, if you're just totally solo and you're not really looking at shared resources. This is about your career, your legacy, leaving this world a better place. A lot of downloads, divine downloads coming in for you. And I've been seeing this came up before, where I'm seeing it's a time frame of over the next month, and it might not come into full fruition until the summertime. But it has a lot to do with you coming into abundance, happiness, getting nourishment in terms of shared resources, and maybe through, matters of your career. Some of you are getting income during this time from family possessions, or you're getting some considerable support from family members. I do want to caution you with the Two of Swords, and I keep seeing in a lot of the readings as of late for you, Two of Swords keeps coming up where there may have been some blockage here of you not wanting to open up to something or see something, which might have caused you to be at a stalemate because there was a difficult decision that you had to make and you didn't really like the options or the alternatives. I will say that in this deck, it is indicative of someone searching for help and possibly finding it. Like whatever you give to the situation returns. And I think this has to do with, again, your career, but also family, maybe a relative. If you've invested a lot in your family, this could be a time where they're finally stepping up and giving back to you. Or again, you've invested a lot into your career. This is a time where it's giving back to you. And again, if there has been some stuckness because of a lot of competition in the workplace, a lot of adversarial energy in the economy, like with inflation, I think that you are going to push back on that. But again, in pushing back, be aware that there is something maybe you're having, if you're stuck or you're having trouble getting something moving forward, you maybe need to come and look at this from a different perspective and to accept a difficult truth that may be something that you don't want with your career or your family resources or your legacy, that you're going to have to maybe accept something. I hate to say that, okay? Also, I'm warning you as well that with a family dynamic of shared resources, part of the stuckness could be that you are having very ridiculous conversations with these people. Maybe they're pushing back or you're pushing back in some respect on the disagreements or the discussions or the negotiations going on between family members about how resources are to be handled. And I do see some stressful negotiations on that end. So I want to warn you, maybe a stalemate with family, although I think the resources are definitely there. And I feel that you've invested into them, you've invested into your career, but something is really stuck. Might have to do with property issues. Some of you retirement. Some of you, again, this is with people that would be heirs or people that would inherit things. Might have to do with wills for some of you. Or how money is being invested. I'm getting resource management as well. But there's some kind of divisiveness coming up about decisions having to do with career and family resources. And maybe somebody avoiding a difficult truth. I'm getting a couple messages here of, and it could get aggressive. It could be really, if it's not aggressive, it's like really obtuse. But there is an opportunity in the midst of all of this to heal and to start looking at creative options, creative new beginnings, to actually solve something. However, in the meantime, you know, as these new ideas are in this gestational period of over the next month and into the summertime, between now and then, you are possibly going to have to accept doing something that you have maybe been avoiding or is unwanted. I hate to say that, okay? Let's look at the current challenges. Wow. Some of you, you know, the current challenge is that you have moved. There's also this very erratic energy. So if it's not moving, it might be that a relative has come to visit you or you've gone to visit a relative. There's some very fast moving energy. And now we've got the Ace of Pentacles, maybe with a new house, a new home, a new job, a new piece of property. With the Devil card might involve a Capricorn. That could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius over there. But I am seeing some feeling of, I have a new opportunity here materially, but I don't feel like I'm in control of this situation, okay? There's a feeling of being controlled financially or out of control of a financial situation. I'm sorry to say. Some of you are still tied to an ex. Maybe there's ongoing property matters that legally are binding you to either an ex who's still maybe on the hook for child support or alimony, or again, maybe you got involved in a lease or a deed, so you're still on the hook with this person and you can't completely get away from it. Others of you, there might be dependency issues and a feeling that you have to do something for, you got to do it for the money. Again, where you're moving or where you're residing or taking a new job, it's like you don't want to do it, but you got to do it for the money so that you can balance out income and expenses. And now I'm seeing Sagittarius or Cancer and maybe even a Pisces here. You know, this issue with finances, there, again, if you end up having to quickly take an opportunity that you feel is practical, but really, you know, it's not what you wanted. You're doing this so that you could balance your income with your expenses, and you might feel like this is a lot of major arcana here, okay? That you might feel that circumstances are out of your control, and so you are just waiting patiently and also doing what you feel Spirit is guiding you to do, that for a time and a season. You need to be moderate with your cash flow, with your expenses. You need to not spend more that you're making. And then, you know, you need to wait on Spirit to release you and let you know, okay? Because I see a lot of stuck in controlled energy here. And maybe again, this is, I'm being brought back to that Two of Swords yet again, where with the Hangman, something is at a stuck or at a stalemate, and it perhaps is forcing you to look at something from a different perspective. And it might have to do with giving or getting commitments out of people. It might have to do with something open-ended, because it looks like you got yourself possibly into some karmic entanglements here that you're waiting on Spirit to fully release you from. Some of you feel like you're not able to take the action right now in your life the way you want. You feel like you are slave to debt, and that's forcing your hand to do things that perhaps you don't want. Some of you also awaiting a decision, and it's in divine timing of when this time of sacrifice is going to end for you. The timing here is very delayed and disruptive, okay? Some of you may be waiting for the holiday season to get over with so that the world gets back on track with moving forward. What is your strength in this situation? Eight of Chalices. I think some of you are, you know, actually this is showing up positive, where you are trying to walk away from things that are not making you happy, and you have moved on. Some of you literally moved, some of you more of an emotional moving on from things that are not moving you happy, making you happy, so that you can be happy. But I'm also seeing this, some of you trying not to take what's going on very personal, trying to emotionally detach from the difficulties of it and maybe look at it in a more pragmatic way, in a more concrete way. and not necessarily, you know, take it personal or so harsh, okay? But I do feel that some of you are disillusioned by things going on, and what you're doing positively and constructively with that energy is that you're walking away from it. I'm getting a very also Saturnian vibe off of this card that, you know, you dealing with a restriction, you're being real, again, down to earth. And I've seen a lot of that, y'all showing up as a king or queen of pentacles over the last month, that you're trying to be very down to earth. The Saturnian influence, Saturn and Aquarius, particularly the latter degrees, like 20 degrees onward, are basically those of you who are born in the tail end of Aquarius season that are more Pisces leaning, right? Really feeling the squeeze on you. And the more that you can just understand this as an energy that, as challenging as it is, that it will pass, and that it's revealing to you where the weaknesses are in your finances, your business, your career, your family resources, your legacy, and use that as a gift actually to start working on strengthening those weaknesses. The more you can do that, the better this energy is actually going to serve you. Let's look at some new income sources for you, okay? Some new income sources for Aquarius. How can Aquarius find new income opportunities or projects to consider that would increase their income? How can Aquarius increase their income over this next week? Rein in any kind of emotional spending. And also, again, I'm being brought back to the Ten of Pentacles. This is an issue having to do with, again, this family resources. It could be with a spouse's money, but also, you know, maybe children. It's an issue of being supported by others. And so for some of you, you have to be very careful. And I think, again, during the holidays, some of us are maybe inclined to spend money on loved ones, friends, family, people we really care about that are near and dear to the heart. But again, you know, is this a practical thing for you to do at this time? And are you doing this for emotional reasons, to feel good, to look good? Some of you might want to look into frugal spending, right? Or go to Five Below, right? Go to Five Below. I don't mean to be, they're not paying me to say that. It's just, you know, little $5 gifts, okay? $5 and under, right? Do something frugal just as a gesture to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. But you really are going to have to balance. And even if you can't afford a gift that's for $5 and under, this is you maybe showing up differently in the relationship rather than with the money bags, okay? Because I'm getting something here with emotional spending. I think I've seen it in previous weeks where, you know, you got to ask yourself, if you're overextending yourself, why are you doing it? Is because you want to feel better about yourself, or you don't want to disappoint people? But ultimately, it's really not in your best interest to do that. And ultimately others. Is Spirit leading you to do that? If no, you need to really honor that as well. I'm also getting a message here about having a job that you love. And so again, some of you, there might be a challenge here again, because I saw a contrast of some of you feeling like you're doing it for the money wherever you're working. And it's almost like the answer is you have to be in alignment with your heart, okay? And again, that doesn't always bode well in this 3D realm, right? They want you to just pay your bills. Get a job, get a job, get a job, and then pay your bills and be grateful that you know, have a job, even if it's totally out of alignment with your life purpose destiny. And if you're dealing with loved ones who are not supporting you and understanding that in a meaningful, practical way, it's going to be very hard for you to do the same. You might have to take some kind of odd job or work the night shift or do something part-time, because I am seeing that there is an issue with, you know, funds have maybe been fleeting, again, maybe because you took on a move, or you took a trip, or somebody's come to visit you to take advantage of some kind of new opportunity. Some of you, though, you really have to tune in again into spirit and use that intuition of what spirit is leading you to do to increase your income. And for some of you, it might be intuitive work, like counseling somebody, being a life coach, being a tarot reader, being a astrologer. Okay, I am seeing a really good omen here, though, like over here and here, that some of you, money coming in this month could be coming through others, or if it's not money, it's resources. It could be like an inheritance or some kind of winning, or some of you just getting an increase in your earnings. Where is this money coming in with this Ace of Pentacles? Where is this money coming in with this Ace of Pentacles? Looks like you're going after it pretty fast, okay? Going after it pretty fast. Oh, wow. All right. There might actually be an inheritance. Somebody might have actually passed, okay? For others of you, this is coming because of an ending, something that was left behind. Again, a lot of money over the next 2 years, but it might be difficult, okay? For some of you, actually, I gotta say it because I do know an Aquarian who's actually going through that, and I hate to be so dark, okay? But you know, a lot of people are passing right now. A lot of people are passing. South Node in Scorpio. Death is being released in very large numbers, because a lot of people over the last 2 years, where did I see that? A lot of people over the last 2 years made some very bad choices. That card represents a 2-year time frame. Look at that butterfly. That's a death rebirth cycle, Scorpio, with a butterfly. Over the last 2 years, some people made some very poor choices about their health. They trusted people they should not have. Misplaced trust. And now we're dealing with a lot of this. That is not me. I don't know anybody in my family that did that, but who knows? Maybe they didn't tell me, because I know that I wouldn't agree with it, and I try to talk them out of it, and people like to do what they want to do anyway, so they just won't tell you, and they'll go do whatever they want. I hope not. I really hope not. Be on the lookout for that. If that doesn't apply, where else might Aquarius be getting some kind of winning or increase in money coming in? Please show me. Feeling that one. Marriage. Gift. I am seeing that for some of you, this is through a spouse's income. I am also seeing maybe somebody that is in their family passes away, and there might be an inheritance around the time of Christmas. Wow. Okay, I'm also seeing that, you know, you might have a court order or something, like I said before, with child support, alimony, things like that. Maybe a will or some kind of legal that ties you to this person and entitles you to money. Well, I'm trying to find out what you need to learn or change about handling money right now. this has a lot to do about your happiness, okay? About doing what makes you happy and what is going to give you wish fulfillment. And doing work that actually puts you in a state of well-being, psychologically, physically, what takes care of you, Aquarius. Right? Rather than working yourself like a dog, working your fingers to the bone, what is actually a higher calling in life? And how can you honor that? I'm getting a lot of, some of you are dealing with a lot of adversity, though, trying to derail you from your life purpose destiny. Because this matrix is not set up very well to support it. And particularly if you have people in your family who don't give a doggone about people being on point with their life purpose destiny, they might be trying to pressure you into just doing whatever you got to do for the money. Because they don't see the point in your gift, or they don't feel they can support you doing your gift, okay? They're just doing what they have to do to get by, and they think that, you know, that should be good enough for you too, because it's good enough for them. But I feel the advice here is you're going to have to find a way to earn a living that actually satisfies you and makes you happy, psychologically and, yes, materially. If there has been an issue with emotional spending, that needs to be addressed. That, you know, you've got to get out of this mindset that having all your needs met materially is going to actually make you happy. Nah, not really. There are a lot of wealthy people who are unhappy because what they had to do to get all that money and wealth is rob their physical health, rob their psychological health, rob their relationships. They're emotionally, relationally, physically bankrupt. Their bank account's doing great, but if everything else is broke, who cares? Advice on alleviating any financial stress and improving abundance. How can Aquarius improve their abundance this week? I think you are actually going to do it. 5 of Pentacles in reverse, great energy indicating that you're going to come out of the poorhouse, okay? If you've been in the poorhouse, you're going to get out of it, all right? And by the way, some of you, you need to go out. You need to gather with people as much as you can. Go to parties this month, network. And it doesn't have to be anything formal or professional. Just start connecting. Do your Aquarian thing. Be the social butterfly networking person. You know, we know how to do this, right? We know how to schmooze, all right? Get your schmooze on this month because you could really plug into some opportunities here in terms of, you know, not just opportunities, but resources and connecting to people that are in the know about things that can maybe advise you. That's going to be helpful. But I'm also getting with this 5 of Pentacles in reverse that it's going to happen. Okay, now somebody might send you money to help get you out of a bind, all right? But I see things improving, and particularly this is about you. If you feel like you're alone in this, don't isolate, okay? You need to start plugging in and connecting to people that are going to get you where you want to go. That's part of the process of you improving your finances, is making some powerful alliances. You might have been hanging around with broke down, busted, and disgusted people, or people that actually had things, but they were stingy and insecure and felt like they can't share and resented you when you asked them, and maybe you gave to them and they felt like they didn't have anything to give, and you could see plain and clear they could, but they weren't coming off of it. They weren't reciprocating. Get away from these type of energies. Plug in. Put yourself out there, mingle with people, open yourself up to people who have a higher mindset. They know their value and they're not afraid of losing value. They're not afraid of making an exchange. They're not out trying to take from people because they're already coming from a mindset, I have more than enough. I have plenty. I don't need to take from people. And if people give to me, I have no problem returning because I'm an incubator of ideas. I grow things. I birth new possibilities into existence. I co-create potentials and possibilities, okay? You got to come out of being alone or this isolation or this feeling of lack. And you may, in fact, be in that situation, okay? But what it's telling me is part of you getting out of that energy and that mindset is revolving around you plugging into a different set of people. Because I'm going to tell you what, if the well has run dry, the well has run dry. There's nothing left there, right? And you might think that there's still more water in that well, but if that person's like, nope, tapped out, can't give to you anymore, can't give back to you, or it's a one-way thing. I mean, look, stopped wells are stagnant water, and you know that's toxic. Don't keep trying to drink out of a stagnant well. All right, let me do another spread real quick to find out where you are at with your career versus where you want to be and how you can strengthen this, improve your chances of income, and what's going to happen if you take that advice. Some of you have right now, you know, you've already invested a lot into what you're doing. And some of you are reevaluating, like, my God, how much longer before I get a payoff? Where's my return on investment? And it might have to do with, you know, if you've got a business and like me and you're on social media, this could be these social media platforms and, you know, people that you are collaborating with creatively, okay? You've put a lot of work into these networks. But you might be looking at, God, this has been going on so long, okay? Where is my payoff? Maybe reevaluating if this is something that you should continue investing in, because I see a very hardworking, persevering energy. Some of you have stacked some money away. You've actually saved money. You might have money in a 401k. Retirement, pension. Some of you got into the stock market, precious metals, cryptos, commodities. You did things like that, okay, to try to pull resources, to grow resources. But again, where is the investment? Because it's almost like, are you turning your back on these networks? And if it's not like social media platforms, it's some kind of forums or groups. Some of you maybe need to consider like getting into kind of, I'm getting like a hive mind or a mastermind type of group where you can try to solve this issue, okay? I just see a lot of investment, and I really feel like you're tired and you're reevaluating, like, how much longer before this pays off. where you want to be in the career is you want things to be really solid and committed with the Hierophant. You want to live more of a normal life, a conventional, stable life. You want things to be enduring. You want something more committed, more solid, like a very Taurus energy, okay? Maybe to come to this place in your career where people are consulting you. They're getting advice from you. Like you're the guru, you know. Like you've got sage wisdom or advice, you know. That's where you want to be, very established, but there's just been a lot of investing and waiting and reviewing and collaborating and yeah, that's kind of, I mean, the more I look at that, that's just like tiring, to be honest with you. What is strengthening you right now financially with your career? What is strengthening your career and supporting your career? Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, possibly a female friend, or you just, you know, being bold and stepping out there and having some confidence and really asserting yourself and doing what you're passionate about, having the determination to really step out and honor your strength of will. Even though I think some of you are tired and you're reassessing, like, I mean, how much longer is this going to go on? How much longer can I go on with this? What has been weakening your position, or what are the obstacles with your career? Slow. Some of you have had to be very diligent, very methodical, very consistent, because it's just not going to come to you easy. It's not going to come to you effortlessly. Some of you, this has been taking longer than you expected. It's taken a lot more work than has been expected. And maybe the consistency is a challenge for you, or, you know, having to be patient and efficient and methodical and responsible, you know, with this, that's been a challenge. Let's see about advice on improving your chances of success. Advice on Aquarius improving their chance of success with their career. How can Aquarius improve their chance of success? Ace of Wands, a new creative venture. Some of you need to do something new, okay? Tap into new possibilities, right? Like I'm doing a new channel, okay? It's on the same platform that I've been investing in. I don't know how much longer, right? If I'm testing it, it's experimental, right? We'll see where this goes. But if I'm not getting the payoff, I don't know that I'm going to invest like another 4 years. Just keep hammering it out like that for another 4 years like I did on my other channel. We'll see though. We'll test it. It's testing. And so you need to look at new possibilities, new potential, maybe producing something absolutely new. A new creative start, maybe with a business for some of you. It might involve travel for some of you. Some of you might have to do with, like if this is a new business venture, the industries of solar energy or alternative energy or energy sources might be a new profitable business to get into. Whether you're a business owner and wanting to launch in that industry, or you're an employee looking for work opportunities, I think you could see a lot more work opportunities in the energy sector, definitely green energy or alternative energy. You could see a lot more opportunities over there. And this is something that can immediately be seen right now. And I'm also seeing around the springtime. Also, like locations, if you were to travel and move for business, getting into more of a warmer climate, the southern part, like if you're in the United States, the southern states, or more in the desert area, like the Arizona, Nevada, I hate to say California, but you know, the southernmost part, I'm reluctant to say California, okay? But let's say Texas, Arizona, Nevada, those areas, I'm seeing that might improve your chances of success being in those locales or working in those industries, more success there. Whatever you do, it's got to be something new, okay? Something creative. You've got to produce something that is new. You can't, whatever this is that you have long invested in, I don't really know that this was a bad investment. I'm not seeing that. It's just taking a long time. And I don't know that, again, you know, that you're to abandon that work, but again, maybe the way you do it on this platform, or the way that the networks that you work within, or the industries where you render that service or those products, that needs to change, right? Marketing to a different location, or creating different products, okay? I think you get it. What's a likely outcome if you take this advice? Likely outcome if you take this advice. What is the likely outcome if Aquarius takes the advice? Queen of Swords. Well, you're going to be in your power there. And yeah, you know, with the Two of Chalices and the Six of Chalices, well, some of you are going to possibly cut some things out of your life that on an emotional level have not really been making you happy, okay? It could be that you decide to disassociate from certain people. You decide to part ways or disband from some either network or a way of the way you went about investing in that network or that group. Or again, it might be what you're putting out there, what you're producing, what you're creating. You part ways from that. And you recognize that there is some kind of incompatibility here, that it's not going to make you happy. So, you know, I think you're disappointed, honestly. I'm looking at this. But I think that you are looking at the sober truth and the reality of it, and you decide to cut it out, okay? And this might have to do, again, with your past and what you have invested in earlier years in your career, things that you know, maybe were nostalgic about, you were hopeful about, but you came at this hopefulness from more of a innocent, you know, not maybe taking a risk, like, let's see where this goes. I've never done this before. I don't know, right? You invested into that before, quite innocently in your early days with this career or this business. But I really get this idea like you are parting ways. You're coming out of this time frame of investing more wisely because you now know what you need to not invest yourself in any further. And you're coming in a lot more knowledgeable about this. Again, it might have been within a group dynamic that was familiar to you, or you had a way of working, or what you were putting out there, what you were creating, very familiar to you. But you realize this is actually not giving me the happiness, the psychological, physical well-being from this work that I need and desire. And so I think you cut it out. To me, it seems like a bittersweet message, actually. I don't know that you're happy about it. I think when you started investing in this long haul, you had more of an innocence about you, and you thought that this would actually make you happy, okay? And it's something you wanted to be connected to. And I feel that you're looking back at, oh, well, the good old days back when I thought this was going to work out, when I thought this boat was going to float. But you see the truth of the matter, and you do what you need to do, okay? And you come out of this a lot wiser, because this is a very almost childlike, innocent view of things. And let me say also that Six of chalices in this particular deck, it represents you taking comfort in things. Possibly a relationship of convenience, maybe a contract. I think you're going to cut it out. Wow, that's a weird. I'm sorry, I gotta sit with that a little bit more. What is Aquarius cutting out? What is Aquarius cutting out? Poverty. Love it. Work and toil. I'm telling you, you worked a lot on this. You put a lot of work on this, okay? And I don't think it gave you the payoff. It did not give you the payoff materially, psychologically, and you're severing ties with that. I think I got that last week in the advice, severing ties with poverty. And there might be an issue also with legal situations. This might have to do with children, particularly if there is a child support issue going on, a divorce settlement, or a will. And if you have been in the poorhouse over loss of a spouse, loss of a spouse's income, loss of a spouse's support, you're parting ways with that, okay? You're going to put that behind you. The advice here is attracting, not chasing. I don't think you're going to do this. Like, if you have to, like, work your fingers to the bone to have little or nothing to show for it, I just don't think you're going to do it anymore. This is saying anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of fear's underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. At the foundation, blocking out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention, so it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. I think this is you getting very focused, very directed on what you're going to invest in and what you're not going to invest in, based on more of a mature understanding of what's going to pay off for you and what isn't. And I think that if in the past you had some false idea that working harder was actually going to pay off and it was going to make more money for you, I think you're over that. I think you're into more of a work smarter, not a work harder type of energy. And let me see if we can get any further advice. Real quick, before I forget, I need to tell you that if you want more tarot content from me, it's over to Etsy, and you can order private readings over there as well, in addition to on-demand pay-per-view content that's affordably priced. And I'm uploading new stuff all the time. Lots of other goodies on there as well. And another place you could go if you want to get a private reading is to my website, crownones.weebly.com. I will have the links down below for those of you who are interested. And for those of you who are just like, hey, I just need the free stuff right now.
and you want more readings that are free, you can visit my other channel, The Crowned Life, here on YouTube, where I go live every new moon and full moon, so make sure to subscribe.
Because some of you are maybe going through a career change and you're not sure, you know, what career is actually going to pay the bills and make you happy at the same time. And it's saying freedom. You're free to do what you choose. I don't know. You might have some people around you saying otherwise, but look at this creative expression. And I saw that come out with that Ace of Chalices in the last spread. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. And this might be through the arts. This might be through speaking. Whatever it is, polish your skills by practicing regularly, making the time to do that. I hope this has encouraged you, and please know that I am wishing you abundance financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you again. Be blessed.